Hello, my name is Jason Johnson, amateur radio operator Kilo 3 Juliet, Sierra Juliet. And in a previous video, I went through the introduction of the SUPERSTATION application that Mark KB0US and myself recently announced to the public. We're currently going through beta testing. We have some beta testers testing out the application with plans for general release in the November timeframe. So check out the first video on the introduction of SUPERSTATION itself and how the game works. In this particular video, I'm going to go through the process of how you would install SUPERSTATION on your computer and you would get it up and running. A couple things to consider for the SUPERSTATION app. We presently only support Windows 10 and Windows 11. There are no plans to support Linux operating system, nor are there any plans to support the Mac. If you do choose to run SUPERSTATION on a Linux computer or Mac using Crossover or some other applications, we unfortunately will not be able to provide any support as this exceeds our ability at the present time. In order to use the program, you have to have a way to unzip a zip file. We distribute the software via a zip file. The beta users will be given the software, and then we will be publishing excuse me, we will be publishing the software online, and we'll have a link to our website on how to get that once we go public with it. We do assume you have basic knowledge of how to use the computer. So this would be downloading files, unzipping files, navigating directories with File Explorer, as well as being able to configure your var AC instance, as well as your var modem. Mark and I will be able to answer some basic questions on certain topics, but we are not full-time tech support. So if you do have any issues with those topics I've mentioned that we consider prerequisites to use the application, we recommend you consult your Google machine or online forums to get help from the community. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at when you get the application, how you would install it and get it up and running. So I'm showing you the desktop of my PC, and I've already gone through the process of going to either the email to get the link to download the file, or I've gone to the website, www.varacwednesday.net/SuperStation, and gotten the link to download the application. So I've downloaded that into my downloads folder, and I'll go ahead and open that up. And you see there's a zip file, and all I have to do is right click on that zip file and type select extract all. And it will prompt me of where to extract it, and that's fine. I'm going to put it in this directory called SUPERSTATION, the version number, and I will show extracted files when complete. All right, so there's two executables in this directory. SUPERSTATION is the first one, so I'll go through and launch that one. So go ahead and just double click the program to launch. And it will take a while, potentially to run for the first time. If you get a if you get a message from Security Scan, you can click through that message, and if you get any asks to confirm, go ahead and you need to do that. All right, you're presented with this, the main GUI in the back, but we can't use that yet because we first have to go through and configure our application. So you are required upon first install to type your call sign. This needs to be in all capital letters. Type your grid square. We require 6-character grid square. And then finally, you have to select the location where your var AC database is located. And to obtain that information, you can find the icon for var AC on your desktop, right-click it, select Properties, and you can navigate to the folder. I will show you that in a minute. But I know my location, so I'm just going to go ahead and select it. So I installed my var AC instance under my Downloads folder. under the ham radio folder. And I have two instances. I'm going to go ahead and pick the first one. The second one's you'll see in a future video, but this is the location of the VAR AC database for my main station called K3GSJ. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and click Save Settings. And I'll go ahead and click Close. And it says that you've changed the location of your database. Now responding some threads. So it's going to go ahead and has to reload some background processes. And what you'll notice off the start, and this is probably going to be the case in your situation as well, is I have one contact in my database. And the reason that's there is I've made one QSO so far this month with this particular instance that meets the required time requirements to get credit for a QSO. So in the beta software that I'm demonstrating in these videos, the minimum required time is 1 minute. That's 60 seconds. But for the public release, and probably for the beta testers, it's going to be a 10-minute QSO. So we have it set to 10 minutes because we are encouraging person-to-person communication. So you can make contacts that way. You have to have a minimum of 10 minutes, and you will get credit for that. So that's how you set up and get the application running. In a future video, I will go through more of the details of the gameplay, but a couple things to point out. If you go under the Help menu versions, that's the version number of the application, as well as our information. There's the splash screen that loads. And then there's also a log that will load. So this has a debug log that has information as the application is running. And there's if you want to make a change to the setup, you click the setup button and make those changes. And then finally, you will exit the application. So a couple things before I end the video I'll point out to you. The first is there's two JSON files in the directory where the SUPERSTATION program runs. And this file has your configuration information, the SUPERSTATION config. And then the card scores has the information about the gameplay as you've progressed. We would ask that you do not change the values in these files. If you do update those and make a mistake, you could render the instance not playable. Then you'd have to delete those two files and restart over. And we will not be providing support to kind of fix that, so please do not edit those files. And then finally, there's a debug log file, which has the information that it was presented in the screen. In this video, I've gone through the overview that the SUPERSTATION application runs on Windows 11 and Windows 10 machines. We do not support nor plan to support Mac and Linux installations. I went through how you would unzip the application to create it in a folder. I executed the program and went through the process of configuring my call sign, grid square, as well as the location of the VAR AC database. So thanks for tuning into this video. Please watch future videos where I will be covering the gameplay of how to use the SUPERSTATION application. I hope you're doing well, and until next time, this is Kilo 3 Juliet Sierra Juliet Jason saying 73.